Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
The 2K cap there.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, they don't really seem to strictly enforce that though. People are topping off to 3 or 4 just out in the open. But anyway,
Okay.
it folds around to the cutoff, and he opens for 40. Button calls, small blind calls, and we're 3,500 effective. And I decide to defend in the big blind with queen of diamonds, three of diamonds.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that that's okay. I mean, you're getting a price of what, almost 5 to 1 here. The hand itself, I mean, a lot of people look at this and they're like, "Oh, I'll three bet that hand." I don't. I mean, it's not like it's new, but it's just logical. Like you want to three bet usually better hands, especially when you're this deep, when there's a very good chance you're gonna get called. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, I guess occasionally you can do it as a bluff, but especially when deep from out of position, you usually want to three bet better hands, not unless it's a,
Okay.
obviously if there's a total bluff. Yeah, maybe there's some playability because it's suited, but anyway, so cutoff opens to 40, button call, small blind calls,
Yeah.
and you're getting like three. Was it? Yeah, well maybe 3.5 to 1, and you call.
Yeah. So, just real quick, are you defending wider when it's heads up versus open, or if it's multi-way, uh,
Well, I mean,
go wider
you're
percentage?
supposed to defend a little bit like tighter when any situation when it's multi-way, but when you start to get a price like this where it's like 30 for 130 and you have a suited hand, um, like if you had a hand like Queen 8 offsuit or something like that's a defend heads up probably against a button 3x open, but not, I probably
Okay.
wouldn't defend it multi-way. You know what I mean? Just to give you
Yeah.
an example.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, go to the flop. It's 160 in the pot,
Yep.
and it comes down queen of clubs, three of hearts. So flop three's full.
Okay.
And small blind checks, I check, pre-flop raiser and the cutoff checks, and button makes it 65. Um, Small blind check raises to 165. I call, and the button overcalls.
So two clubs out there. Small blind check raises to 165. You call and the button
Yeah,
calls. Obviously, yeah. I mean, I don't really have much of a
right.
problem with that. I don't know how the small blind is, and if he would be ever be the
Yeah,
type to check raise a queen, but
no, I don't think he would ever check raise a queen. He is pretty aggressive. I think he has a lot more bluffs than value in this spot.
yeah. I mean, he shouldn't really have
Been
that
playing
many
with him the last 4 hours.
threes that much either. Obviously, it's less likely when you have one of them, but I mean, I guess he could have like ace three suited sometimes in the small blind. Sometimes people will three bet that
Yeah,
hand, but okay. So
yeah,
button over call. So chances are, I mean, we're probably looking at a flush draw and maybe a queen here. Your
yeah.
smooth call of the check raise in between is pretty strong, and
Right.
I don't know if the button is like bet calling a queen all that much. So I'd be a little bit surprised if the button overcalls here with like a hand like queen 10. But he could obviously be very flush draw heavy.
Yeah, Button's very recreational player.
Okay,
He has overvalued his hands a few times.
sure.
Played with him like about 4 hours before this.
Uh-huh.
More on the passive side,
Okay.
but so yeah. Anyway, so it's 650 in the pot on the turn,
Yep.
and it comes down to seven of clubs.
Okay, so the flush comes in.
So flush draw comes in.
Yep.
Small blind checks now,
Mhm.
and I decided to lead for 250. I'm thinking of maybe make it look like I have a smaller flush or scared three or something, hoping the button will raise me with nut flush.
Uh-huh.
So anyways, I lead, button calls, and small blind folds.
Um the thing that I would say about here is that I don't actually, with these stack sizes, I actually don't like that sizing that much. I would either
Okay.
go for a check raise or bet much, much larger, like 500.
Yeah.
250 because the thing is that like if you bet 250 and the button has a flush and it's not the nut flush and he just calls, so you're gonna go
Hmm.
30%, 30% like to the river. You know what I mean?
No, I was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say like I guess like you can obviously tag along a three. I just think that I would probably bet a lot larger. No one's gonna fold a flush at
Right.
this point, given this action.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess I was thinking of betting small and then just bombing the river, because I don't think this particular guy is capable of folding a flush ever.
I mean, the other thing too,
Uh,
like I said, is that you can sometimes go for a check raise here as well to get
yeah.
more money in the pot. You would think that the button would bet all his flushes, and if he's recreational, he's certainly not going to bet fold. So,
Right.
I don't. I
Yeah.
think that's a tricky line to go for a check raise there, but it could be done, obviously.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
1150, right?
So what's that?
1150 to the river.
Um, the pot in the river is 1150. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the river comes down the king of clubs, so four to flush now.
Yep.
Um, and I think in game I lost track of the pot a little bit, and I was intending to overbet it because I don't think he would fold a flush
Hmm.
ever, or especially the nut flush. So anyway, I bet 1500,
Yeah, I don't.
and
I'm not sure if I like that either. So the board just
yeah,
came out with a four flush, right?
yeah,
So when you look at this, like, yeah, obviously he can have the nut flush, right? Sometimes.
yeah,
The question is he going to raise off with that or not on the turn? It's probably questionable. Now that the king of clubs comes out here, if he did have a flush or if he had somehow had like a hand like ace three,
hmm,
and as if he's a fun player and he's playing a lot of suited hands, like I would probably go like pretty small, 400. I mean, it's a
yeah, that
shitty
might be
river for
better.
you, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, I was thinking it might even be better to just go all in because he's never fold. I don't think this guy's ever folding the ace of clubs, but it probably is better to bet smaller, or it might be.
I mean, the only thing about him having the ace of clubs, though, is like I said, I mean, the only way that he has really the ace of clubs at his hand is if he turned the nut flush or he has like
Yeah,
ace queen with the ace of clubs that he didn't three
yeah, I
bet
think he could
pre.
have a three. I think he could have ace three offsuit. He's playing pretty wide pre-flop too.
Right, but the
But
three of clubs
yeah.
is out there. I'm just saying the way that he
Oh,
arrives
that's
on this
true. Yeah,
river with
didn't
the
think
ace of
about it.
clubs is he would have had to have turned the nut flush. And I think that
Right.
sometimes that hand's going to raise to your small sizing, or he has ace queen with the ace of clubs that didn't three bet pre cutoff versus button, and a lot of people will
Yeah.
do that. So
Yeah.
you bet 1500,
I bet 1500, and he goes all in for 3000.
just like a min raise basically.
Well, that was the rest of what he had in front of him. He went all in.
So hero bets 1500 and button
He
moves
jams. Yeah.
all in for 3,000 total, right? So another
So
1,500.
yeah. So
I mean,
yeah, another 1500.
here's the thing. Like, I mean, obviously, it sort of sucks. There's no way I can't fold here for this price. I mean, it would suck if he has like King three here, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's overcalling with pocket sevens. I mean, really, like the hand that you lose to here is really like king three or pocket kings that was no, but pocket kings that was trying to get somebody to like raise out of the blind to back raise. But I mean, cutoff versus button. I mean king three is the one that like really comes out at
Yeah.
me. Or you guys have the same hand, but I can't. There's no way I'm gonna fold here for basically what is like a min raise. I mean, if you said he's fun, maybe he thinks. I mean, it seems very unlikely that he would raise all in with the ace of clubs. Obviously, when you make
Yeah.
it 1500, you know what I mean? He's probably just going to
Right.
call. But could he have 7-3 here and be thinking that that's the nuts? You could have the same hand. Once in a while, he might
Yeah.
do it with the ace of clubs. But it seems to me like if you're losing here, it's to king three. I'm assuming that you called.
Yeah, and in game I didn't think about it very long, and I did call, but I don't know. Thinking about it afterwards, I don't, obviously I don't think he has any bluffs at all. I don't think he's really calling 7-3 maybe, in just book. So all his hands that he's raising there beat me. And I know great price here, almost 4-1, but
But
I just
what
I don't
hands are
know.
those? Are those hands just pocket kings and king three? That's you just
Just pocket kings, king three, and I guess one combo of queens. If you didn't
oh
three bet.
queens too. Right. Well,
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's right. One combo of queens because you've got queen three. Um,
yeah,
but I don't know, man. I mean, I've seen enough wacky stuff where once
yeah.
you
I
get up
guess
to a
so.
certain hand strength, I find it very, very difficult to fold in this spot.
Right. Okay.
So what did he
Yeah.
end up having?
He had pocket kings. Yeah.
Pocket kings, yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, I
so you would
wouldn't get
never fall.
I wouldn't get
Yeah.
too beat up over it though. I mean, it's kind of I just I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you took like my line and you were like you bet like 3 to 400 on the river. And then for some reason say he shoved in for 3,000. That would be pretty crazy. I'd have a tough time folding that though too, because I would wonder if he was doing that with the ace of clubs. But I bet that it. I don't know if he would move all in if he's a fun player in that spot. But I think that the call on the river. I mean, it is what it is. But I think the turn play here should be sized up or check raised. I feel like. And then I think the river bet should be smaller. I mean, whatever the results are is kind of crazy, but
Okay.
okay.
Thanks.
All right, cool. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.